Josh Engel, and we're going to jump into a little different video today. Stock market news. We have two of my top stocks here, Uber and Meta, that have giant news this week. I'm going to break it down for you in a simple way to understand. Don't have to worry about it. First article we're going to look at. Uber stock surges as robotaxi services Waymo launches in Atlanta. What is Waymo? Waymo is a small sliver of Google that has robotaxis. What is a robotaxi? It's this little car we see right here. If you're keeping up on the news and with the protests in LA right now, you may have seen a couple of these cars vandalized or burning on fire. But of course, that's nothing to worry about because that's on a small scale. But to get really into it right now, Uber stock jumped 7% yesterday. 7 to 8% yesterday. That is huge. Why? Because Uber has partnered with Waymo. This was very unexpected, in my opinion. In my opinion, there was a 10% chance that Tesla's robotaxi services or Waymo's could disrupt Uber's long term growth. But this implements together, which it takes out one competitor and puts it in Uber's favor. So what is a robotaxi? It's these little cars we see here. These cameras up here, Waymo has taken the approach of putting cameras and sensors all around the car in a very technical approach, while Tesla here has taken the approach of doing a little bit of cameras on the sides and not like full sensors. So a little bit cheaper in the robotaxi industry, but it's a way less generic and less proven approach. So Waymo's taking a safer approach with this car you have here. So what's robotaxi? There, it's like an Uber or rideshare driver. Instead of a human driving in it, it's an AI robot driving it for you. So Uber. So why is this news huge? Because Waymo and Tesla robotaxi services was going to be in direct competition with Uber because Uber is the number one way where people can book a car for them or like a taxi for them to go from one place to another. So that's what's going to interrupt their revenue flow. But with Waymo unexpectedly partnering with Uber, the Waymo to only way for your customer to get a Waymo is through the Uber app now. So with the combining of that, and with Waymo taking this better approach than Tesla, they are gonna insanely boost revenue. So let's take how big is Waymo right now? So let's look at Google's revenue right here. Do you see Waymo on here? No, put this less than 1% of the total revenue. It is total rocket ship. It is so small that you can't see it on any chart. It would be a smallest sliver. It would probably be this one little line right here. Is what the Waymo's revenue of Google is right now. That's why I like Google personally to share, but that's why I'm focusing mainly on Uber stock. Google went up a little bit. Uber went up 7%. Tesla went down. Why did Tesla go down? Tesla is in direct competition with Waymo and Uber now. And Tesla just had their robotaxi reveal originally was good, but it didn't go so well compared to this news that's going to outshine Tesla in the long run. I'm not a huge fan of Tesla stock. It's very volatile. They don't have enough profits for me, and the stock is just a bunch of hype for me. I don't like Tesla, and as we see in the 5 year, Tesla has not been proven. But Google and Uber have been proven. As you see, I've hold about 6% Uber now, up to 7%, 3 to 7% increase. Okay, of course, now that we see the longevity of this, of how big this actually is, it went up 7%. So, should you be buying Uber right now? It's a tough question because it just went up 7%. We have to see what the analysts come out with because the original analyst was around $92, which is what Uber is around right now. So 96 actually. So the price target is right here. We're gonna go to our price target. We're gonna see how close it is to analysts' price target. Let's see if we have room to grow based on analysts. So of course it went up way more. It's close to average, but new price targets are gonna come out because of this unbelievable partnership. Of course, we have analyst recommendations here, but you can take that into account. This is just some of the analyst data we're using to perform this. But that's Uber, and this is huge. It takes away the competition from Uber and Google. Now they're combined, and now they're against Tesla. And I have no faith in Tesla. They're going to absolutely destroy the competition, and it's one of my favorite things, a monopolistic company. DoorDash does not do rideshare like that. Even Uber Eats is still more popular than DoorDash is for the eating platform. So this is huge. They have a monopoly over the taxi service and the eating service. So that's why I like to focus on the big dogs here. Next, Meta. Let's get into Meta really quick. You probably haven't heard the news about Meta. It wasn't that groundbreaking, and the stock only went up around 2% on this news on the week. Why? Meta launches ads on WhatsApp. Why should we be focused on this? In the past, analysts in Wall Street has not gone crazy over Meta because they have not understand this stock. Meta has been underappreciated stock for a while because almost all the revenue comes from ads from Instagram and Facebook. So Instagram having 2 billion monthly active users, while Facebook having 3 billion monthly active users. Wall Street, how the heck are they gonna make revenue? Will they do it? Guess how many? Guess how much monthly active users does WhatsApp have? WhatsApp has 3 billion monthly active users. It's the widely the most used messaging system in the entire world. So we're taking the 2 billion plus the 3 billion, the 5 billion monthly active people that they do ads on, and adding another 3 billion for a total of 9 million, or like a 40% increase in ad revenue here. This is insane. WhatsApp has not been has not been ad revenue plan on before, but this is newly implemented. This is why this is such a big deal, and why I am long on Uber, and why I bought more of this stock, and why it's at 5% of my portfolio. Of course, I have more sentiment in Amazon and ASML. Since I just said that, I might as well get into it. Amazon, of course, has the biggest monopoly over online consumer discretionary. When people buy stuff, they go to Amazon. The middle class, the upper class, even the lower class, even though that's more targeted in something like PDD Holdings or Temu. But Amazon has a wide margin of safety. Only competitor I see even close is Walmart right now, because Walmart also has an awesome online platform, but they're mostly a retail store, so that shouldn't really be impacting it. And of course, the only other company that is similar to it is Meli. So you have not heard of Meli stock? Well, I am not surprised because it's in Brazil. It's a Europe. It's over there, Meli, which is basically it's the Amazon out of the United States. Like, this is what people use, and this is why I want to get into the stock too. But it costs 2,000. That's pretty expensive for me, and it would totally outweigh my portfolio. And fractional shares and Charles Schwab only can be in United States stocks, unfortunately. So, but I will add this once my portfolio grows. So, and next, ASML. What is ASML? You probably never heard of ASML. Well, ASML is one of my favorite stocks for a reason. Jumped up a little bit this week. Nice. But it's in the total year, it's been down. Why? Everybody focuses on AMD or NVIDIA, all these chip makers. Everybody focuses on this AI plays. Well, what is ASML? We're just getting this really quickly because that's not the main point of this video. ASML. So you know how people like NVIDIA and AMD make the actual chips. Well, to make the chips, you need capital goods. You need the machines to make the chips, called lithography machines. ASML has a monopoly over 90% of the lithography chips. So for AMD and AMD and NVIDIA to make these chips, they need to go to ASML first. It's a Dutch company. That's why I love this company so much, and that's why it's at around 10% of my portfolio. A monopoly, basic a monopoly, and guess what? The United States government can't touch it like it touched Google because it's none of the United States company. That's for the Dutch to focus on. So the monopoly is here to stay. One of my favorite things. So to reiterate, we had Uber's partnership with Waymo, which is extraordinary for the stock. I'm long on the stock, and Meta um, partnership new ad plan on WhatsApp to add 3 billion users. That's just a quick overview. I'm not telling you to buy or anything. That's just my That's my analysis. We didn't get any numbers, but anyway, guys, have a nice day.